Dear students, you are welcome in this class. I am Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Principal Scientist, Division of Agronomy, ICR, Indian Agricultural Research Institute. And the topic of today's lecture is organic farming, its definition, what are the principles of organic farming, how it is different from conventional farming, what is the current status of organic farming in the world, and why we need organic farming, why it is required, what are the problems with the conventional agriculture, why we want organic agriculture. We will discuss all this. And on the bottom of this slide, you can see Sumit, this CHEF, chef. So you can remember very
Yes,
easily. The chef is your principles of organic farming. So CHEF, if you remember these four letters, you can remember principles of organic farming. C for care, H for health, E for ecology, F for fairness. So principle of care, principle of health, principle of ecology, and principle of fairness. So overall, the learning objectives of this lecture are to define organic farming, discuss the principles, discuss the need of organic farming, and there are number of variants of organic farming. We will see what are the variants or variations of organic farming that are adopted across the world, and particularly in India. And what are the issues related to food quality of organic products and conventional product, and safety of both the products. Which product is safer? How pesticides are damaging the health of the human beings, and what is the status of GM crops? Are they allowed in organic farming? No, they are not allowed. And why they are not allowed? We will discuss all these subjects in this lecture and hope you will enjoy this lecture. So let us see the definition of organic farming or organic agriculture. Means which word is suitable? Is it organic farming or organic agriculture? Means should we go for farming or go for agriculture? So let us see meaning of agriculture according to Merriam-Webster dictionary. Agriculture is the science, art, or practice of cultivating the soil, producing crops and raising livestock, and in varying degrees the preparation and marketing of the resulting products. So you can see indirectly it is kind of farm management. It is considered as a science as well as an art, and also practicing of cultivating the soil. Cultivating the soil here means plowing the soil and then producing the crops and also livestock. So in agriculture, both crops and all kind of livestock are combined, and their combination can be in varying degree. Means you can have larger land and less animal, and you can have less land and more animal. So variety of combinations or proportion of crops and livestock can be there on the farm. And marketing and preparation means value addition is also part of agriculture, and then marketing your products. So up to marketing, it is agriculture. That is, we study in agriculture economics, the marketing of agricultural produce. So all these make up your agriculture. Cambridge Dictionary defines agriculture as farming. It is synonymous or equivalent to farming, the practice or work of farming, the practice or work of farming, the business, science, or activity of farming. This is your agriculture. So you can see that agriculture and farming are very close. They are synonymous. Now you see meaning of farming. Last slide, you have seen meaning of agriculture. Now see meaning of farming. The practice of agriculture or aquaculture. Now one more form of agriculture is added, that is your aquaculture. In aquaculture, you grow fishes, prawns, and some other aquatic animals. And in aquaculture, you also grow certain plants. So both animals and plants are grown in aquaculture. That is also part of farming. See another meaning of farming from Cambridge Dictionary. The activity of working on a farm. The activity of working on a farm or organizing the work there. That is your farming, is doing the activities on the farm is farming. The business or activity of raising animals, growing crops, etc. on a farm. So business or activity. So you can see here, it is the same definition for agriculture also, where you have seen raising of crops and animals. So you can also see there are hardly any difference in agriculture and farming. So therefore, agriculture, farming or husbandry, they are almost synonymous. And, and you can use them interchangeably. In India, we mostly call farming for organic, means organic farming. And at international level, European and developed countries, they use the word organic agriculture. That is the only difference. Otherwise, they have same meaning. Now see meaning of farm. What is a farm? Because farm is very, very important. So it is a unit or tract of land devoted to agricultural purposes. That is the meaning of a farm. So students should remember what is a farm. A tract of land, a piece of land devoted to agricultural purposes. That is your farm. So there can be variety of agricultural purposes. It can be animal farm, it can be fish farm, it can be a crop farm, it can be fruit crops. So you can have variety of enterprises on the farm. And one Urdu definition of this is, maybe I don't know whether you can understand it, but it is very simple definition of farm. जर्रे जमीन का वो हिस्सा जर्रे जमीन का वो हिस्सा जो काबिले काश्त हो, farm या farm कहलाता है. Means it is a piece of land that can be cultivated. It is another meaning of farm. Now,
The caste means क्या होता है?
Caste means cultivation. Caste, मैं धान की काश्त करता हूँ. I do cultivation of rice. मैं धान की काश्त. Caste is also for खेती. खेती means cultivation. जर्रे जमीन means this is your land. जर्रे जमीन का वो हिस्सा means part of land that जो काबिले काश्त, काबिले means suitable for cultivation. काबिले काबिले जर्रे जमीन का वो हिस्सा जो काबिले काश्त हो, farm कहलाता है. So now you see, you have seen the meaning of agriculture, meaning of farming. Now see meaning of organic. We use this organic prefix before many subjects. It is being used as an adjective. Organic farming, organic agriculture, organic life, organic thought. Even thoughts can be organic. Organic cloth, organic watch, organic. You can put this organic prefix before many subjects. So let us see different aspects of organic word, meaning of organic word. So one meaning is belonging to or inherent in a living being, means just belonging to a living thing. Constitutional, natural. It can be used before a fertilizer or manure. Produced from natural substances, organic fertilizer, organic manure, usually without the addition of chemicals. So we can use before fertilizer also. In European country, Western country, they use fertilizer word for manure also. Many times they use organic fertilizer word for manures. Of a method, organic farming, organic can be a method of farming or gardening, that is organic farming, using no chemical fertilizer, pesticide or other artificial chemicals. Also designating a farmer. Organic farmer can be there, organic gardener can be there, that uses organic farming methods. And it can be organic farm also, organic, if I say that this rice was grown by organic methods, I can say this rice was grown organically. So that sense also we can use organic word. Otherwise, organic means coming from living thing or belonging to living things. Organic can be food also, produced without the use of artificial fertilizers, pesticides or other artificial chemicals. Now see some more meaning of organic word. Used about fruit, organic vegetable, even organic meat. Many animal products can be organic. Organic milk that is produced without using chemicals like your organic crops, organic tomatoes. In biology, organic means living or relating to a living things and containing carbon in some form. That is your organic. In agriculture, the science or practice of organic farming. Farming, the activity of raising animal or growing crops on a farm. So organic agriculture, organic farming, and therefore you can see agriculture, farming, or husbandry, they are synonymous. Now we go to the definition of organic agriculture. So I will show you two definitions, one by IFORM 2030 and 113 and one by EPIDA 2005. So we are going to discuss two definitions of organic farming or organic agriculture. So this is from IFORM, International Federation of Organic Agricultural Movements, 2013. And I have just divided it into three parts, but you need to merge all the three statements to make it a complete definition. For our understanding, I have broken it into three pieces. So you can see organic agriculture is a production system. It is a definitely production system, whether you are doing it for animals, for aqua animals, or for plants. It sustains the health of soils, ecosystems, and people. So you can see all the aspects of the nature are covered here. It sustains the health of soils, means it is not exploiting. It is just using it judiciously. So it will definitely maintain the health of the soils, health of the ecosystem. Ecosystem, you understand the complete complete setup of a place or habitat where land and animals and plants all are living together. That particular niche kind of thing is your ecosystem. And people, it is making the people also happy. So it sustains the health of soil, sustain the health of ecosystem, and sustains the health of the people. So this is first part of the definition. And then how to do it? It relies on ecological processes. Ecological processes you need to understand here. So ecological processes means all kind of natural processes. For example, if you go to forest ecosystem, where there is minimum disturbance by the human beings, so there you will find number of natural cycles, and they are balancing each other. They are balancing each other. In natural ecosystems, you will see that population of one species, whether animal, whether plant or microbe, will not exceed certain limit. It will be balanced by other population. And also every form of life is happy. No form of life is suffering from anything. So you see in forest areas, nobody is using pesticides, but your trees are strong. You get healthy trees, you get healthy plants. The soil in the forest ecosystem, natural forest ecosystems are also healthy. So why they are healthy? Because of ecological processes. Number of ecological processes are happening above the ground and below the ground. Above the ground means one particular species is managing the other species, influencing the other species. So therefore, a proper balance is maintained above ground and below ground through ecological processes. Even your decomposition of organic matter in soil, it is an ecological process. And control of insect pests there are two kind of organism. One is helping the plants and other is harmful, useful and harmful. So there may be some useful insects or friendly insects that can control the harmful insect in the ecological systems or in the ecological process. So that is actually ecological process where your friendly insects or friendly animals are taking care of the harmful organism. But otherwise, harmful organisms are also there, but they are to a very minimum level. And their minimum level is maintained through certain ecological processes. So it basically relies on ecological process, means natural process of insect, pest, and disease control, and also natural process of nutrient management. For example, if your soil is rich in microorganism that fixes nitrogen, suppose rhizobium or azoospermillum or azotobacter, then these organisms will fix atmospheric nitrogen, which is also an ecological process. It is happening in ecology at its own. So it relies on ecological processes, this organic agriculture, biodiversity. Biodiversity is very, very important. You cannot succeed in organic farming if you do not adopt biodiversity. If you do not go for diversification of the crop, it is very difficult. So in organic agriculture, you go for biodiversity. Like I gave you example of natural forest system. In natural forest system, if you go there, you will find trees, you will find bushes, you will find grasses, you will find short plants, you will find algae, you will find bacteria, all sorts of life will be there in natural forest system. So why that forest system is surviving? Why it is rich in biodiversity? Because it is maintaining the biodiversity. It is maintaining the diversity. That is why it is successful. So biodiversity is the key. So organic farming relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and ecological cycles adapted to local conditions rather than the use of inputs with adverse effect. Means inputs with adverse effect are not allowed, like your chemicals or pesticides. So this makes the complete definition of organic agriculture. I read it for you. Organic agriculture is a production system that sustains the health of soils, ecosystem, and people. And how it will sustain the health of soil, ecosystem, and people by as it relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and cycles adapted to local conditions. And it will sustain the health of the soil and ecosystem and people by not using chemical inputs. By not using chemical inputs here means artificial or synthetic inputs. So do you have any question? I think Sri Krishna, Sai Krishna also, Kiran also joined, and Subhranshu also joined. So you can
Yes,
appear
sir.
in your quiz simultaneously. Please manage. Now another definition by APIDA. Sorry, it was in 2015, not in 2005. So now this is also same kind of definition. I broken because it was very lengthy definition given by APIDA. So I broken it into two pieces. So you can see so that we can remember it easily. Organic products are grown under a system of agriculture without the use of chemical fertilizer and pesticide. So in this definition, you can see that pesticide or chemical are the top priority, not including these in organic farming is the top priority in this definition. Organic products are grown under a system of agriculture without the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. This is one with an environmentally and socially responsible approach. Means you are not using these chemicals so that your environment is healthy and you are having some socially responsible approach. So here environmentally approach, you understand that you will not pollute the environment. But if you are not using these chemicals, how it will become the socially responsible approach? Because there are farmers, and all farmers means there are farmers, there are consumers, and farmers also consume part of their produce. Whatever is produced by farmer, part of that is eaten by themselves and family, and part is sold to the market. So it should not be like this, that you do not use chemical for your own food and use the chemical for food that you are going to sell. So therefore, you need to follow socially responsible approach. Means if you are adding pesticides and chemicals while you are cultivating the crop, producing the crops, and these pesticides will definitely go to the general public who will use these products, then it is not socially responsible approach. So farmers need to be, or producers need to be socially responsible. You got some responsibility. It is not that today you are spraying pesticide on your brinjal and tomorrow you are selling it to the market. Consumer does not know. So likewise in this case, you are growing crops and you are using pesticides selling to people. So that is really not a socially responsible approach. But if you do not use these chemicals, then you are environmentally responsible, means you are not polluting the environment. So this is one part. Second part is that it preserves the reproductive and regenerative capacity of the soil. Reproductive means production. Regenerative capacity, if there is some disturbance, then soil should be able to recover it. To recover it, capacity of the soil, good plant nutrition, and sound soil management produces nutritious food rich in vitality, which has resistance to disease. So this is quite long definition of organic agriculture. Do you have any point of discussion and you want to clarify anything from this?
Sir, no, sir.
No, sir.
You can proceed.
Okay. Now see different forms of variants of organic farming. So one thing here I want to tell you that in the world or in India or in the world, people want their name. My name should be famous. My name should be known by people. Some people and some social reformer really come for the good things. They really come for the good work. And some social reformer, they come for the namesake, that my name should be there for thousands of years and my work should be recognized by the subsequent generations and people who will come. So people want name also. That is why in the world, you see, there are thousands of religions. Why there is need to have different religions? Almost they give the same message. Message is that you live with the harmony, don't disturb other people, don't kill other people, be gentle person. These are the preachings or teaching in every religion. Be honest person and so forth. So all the good things are there in all the religion. Then why do we have so many religion? Because people want that my ideology is the best, it should be propagated and it should last long for several years, several centuries. So therefore, similarly, in organic farming also, the main thing is that do not use chemicals, including fertilizer, pesticide, or vitamins, artificial vitamins or antibiotics and so on. Do not use that chemical. That is simple philosophy. And there can be many ways. I can add farmyard manure, you can add compost, other can add neem cake to supply the nutrients. So ultimately you are supplying nutrients through organic sources. My organic sources may be different, your organic source can be different. So why to give a different name? So this is human nature and they want to impose their own ideas and things. So therefore we got a variety of variants of organic farming in the world. And particularly in India, we have so many varieties of organic farming. So you can see one organic farming is modern organic farming, and Sir Albert Howard has been credited as the father of modern organic farming. And you have already known his contribution. Biodynamic agriculture, Rudolf Steiner. Permaculture, it was by Australian biologist Bill Mollison and his student David Holmgren in the 1970s. His condition may have been different. Natural farming, Fukuoka farming, agroecological farming or agroecological agriculture. So this is getting some significance or some importance at international level. Now, you know about the ecology and you also know about agroecology. Agroecology is our agroecosystem, means the farming conditions in India, in the world. Wherever you cultivate the land, grow the crops, keep the animals on the farm, that is your actually agroecosystem or artificial ecosystem. So if we apply certain principles of ecological farming, if we apply ecological rules and regulation in our agroecosystem, in our artificial ecosystem where we are doing farming, if under those conditions we can apply certain ecological principles, implement them, and grow the crops, then it becomes agroecological farm or agroecological agriculture, or simply you can call it agroecological approach. Here also, some people call organic farming as ecological farming. Some people call it ecological agriculture, but that is not possible because our system are artificial system. They are agro ecosystems. They are managed by human beings. So we cannot put them agroecological farming. Sorry, ecological farming. We can put it agroecological farming. So this agroecology, so what is the difference in agroecology and organic farming? So what happens when organic farming is combined with humans and all the components, every component is combined, including humans, including wild animals, including everything, including the birds that are flying on your farm, then it becomes agroecology, agroecological farm. Means here the human beings, even your prime minister, politicians, the kind of political system, kind of economic system, kind of agricultural system, when all these systems are combined, then it becomes agroecology. So in agroecology, all the aspects, direct or indirect, related to agriculture or farming are studied. But organic farming is there in agroecology. A small component of agroecology is organic farming. Then comes your sustainable yogic agriculture. So what these Brahma Kumari is a religious sect in India. So they are saying that you grow, you do your farming by organic methods, do not add chemicals, plus you sit there and then you do meditation for 2 hours, for 4 hours, for 5 hours, and then your yield will increase. So Brahma Kumaris have also entered agriculture, and they have some agriculture wing also, but it can be misleading also. I say it can be misleading because your plants grow by taking water, by taking nutrient, by taking light and other resources, and also management. This is how your plants grow. But if you sit there and if you do meditation, I do not know how the plant growth will increase by doing meditation. But they are making the people fool by saying that this Brahma Kumaris, if you do meditation around the field, then your yield will increase. This is totally misleading. I oppose to this kind of views. 1 year, I have done some testing on this, and we have 2 fields. In one we have chemical farming, in one we had organic farming, and we have grown mung bean crop replicated several times. And these Brahmakumaris, the ladies wearing white sari, they will come to the field, they will sit there for 4 hours in the morning, and they will do their meditation continuously for 10-15 days. And we have employed same resources to both. So ultimately, yields were rather poor in organic treatment, meditation treatment, compared to chemical farming. So such misleading views are there. They say, you bring the seed to us, we will do meditation, and then you go for sowing of this seed, and it will give you more yield, more germination. Can you believe it? So these kind of farming variants are totally misleading, totally non-scientific. It is not acceptable to me. Then comes your homeopathic farming or agricultural homeopathic. You know, homeopathic concept was started by Hahnemann from Germany, I think. So he also employed his solutions or his medicine to the plants. I don't know whether it was successful or not, but I believe it cannot be successful. So they named it. As a student, you can remember what is meant by it, but you should also know whether it is practical or not, whether it can be applied or not. So in my view, this is also a failure. They name it homeopathic farming. Then Homa farming. It is in India that people are doing Havan around the crops or around the seed. Can you imagine? Can your yield will increase by polluting the environment with this fire? You do Havan, you bring some organic material, burn them, put some ghee, some desi ghee or some butter, whatever you put them, and then your yield will increase. Do you believe in this, Sumit? Homa farming. Homa farming
No,
means
sir.
No, sir.
so
Not at all, sir.
not at all, sir. But these variants are there, and people are blind. Many people are supporting and doing it blindly, very blindly, and even it is being promoted by a scientist, retired scientist, Dr. Some Pathak is there from Lucknow. He is promoting it unnecessarily. Homa farming means doing home or in Hindi, what you call it. Then Vedic Kheti, similarly, There are many more kind of farming. Vedic kheti means you are doing organic farming, but some mantropchar, some Sanskrit shloka you can read there, you can cite there, and they will increase your yield. Then again, Rishi Kirshi, Deshpande agriculture technique, way based on Vedic literature, all are misleading. Cow-based organic farming, Gomata Kheti, one cow is enough for 30 acres. Such kind of farming are not going to succeed. Vaishnav Kheti, Ahimsa Kheti, Shivlok, Lokik Kheti, they are just different names. And then comes at the top, it comes your zero budget natural farming, Subhash Palekar. I can speak for 2 hours or 4 hours about this zero budget natural farming. But in brief, I can tell you, it is also totally misleading kind of farming, and farmers are being misled by certain people. And again, government got convinced by those people, and it is being imposed on the farmers who are illiterate. And there are certain kind of incentives are being given to farmers. Lalach. Lalach is the best word. The certain lalach are being given to the farmer, and they are adopting it. Politicians are taking active part. They don't know what it is going to do, but ICR has rejected this farming. Most of the state agricultural university have rejected this farming, the concepts, and they have come up with different name. After then, first they said zero budget natural farming. Then somebody objected, or many people objected to this, that without adding anything, how can you produce? Zero budget means you need not to add anything. Then they named it low budget natural farming. Then again, objections were there. Then they put low cost organic farming. And now they also call it Subhash Palekar natural farming. So it is known by different name, but common people call it natural farm. As a student of agronomy, can you call it natural farming? As I told you, that our farming practices, artificial farming is called as agroecosystem. The farmer, the farm where crops are grown, land is cultivated, animals are also kept, that is your farm, and that is known as agroecosystem. So agroecosystem is your artificial ecosystem where human interference is there, petrol, diesel is being used, machinery is used. So this is totally artificial system. So how can we call it, if we do farming in this artificial ecosystem, can we call it natural? It can't be natural. If human interference is there, human is burning residues, human is plowing land, then how can we call it natural farming? Under agroecosystem condition, it cannot be. Natural farming is possible only in forest area, and in those forest area, there is no human interference. Then you can go for natural farming. So these people are using this word for the wrong. This natural farming you cannot use in agroecosystem. You can use organic farming, that is fine. So we will go to the next link. Next link, it is just 1 minute. So I will stop share here and also stop the recording. Now, dear students, we switch over to another topic, that is principles of organic farming. So many people have given different principles and list of principles, but most acceptable list of principles are given by IFOM, International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement, 2012, and they are almost universally accepted by the people. I gave you acronym CHEF, C-H-E-F, Principle of Care, Principle of Health, Principle of Ecology, and Principle of Fairness. So what is Principle of Health? The basic principle of organic farming is to sustain the overall health of the soil, health of the plant, health of the animal, and health of the human. And it also says that these all kind of health are interrelated. If your soil is healthy, it will give you healthy food, healthy plant or food will give you healthy animal and healthy human being. So this is the fundamental principle of organic farming. Number 2 is principle of ecology. I explained to you that organic farming use ecological processes. So here also That is the fundamental principle, that you are going to make the best use of ecological processes below ground and above ground. Whether it is nitrogen fixation, whether it is cycling of nutrients, whether it is insect pest or disease management, you need to follow the ecological principles, or you need to encourage the ecological processes. Then principle of fairness. So you need to be fair about relationship of different components that ensure fairness with regard to the common environment and life opportunities, fair and just environment for people to live in. So you need to be fair for all kind of organism, all kind of life in this. And then principle of care should be managed in a precautionary and responsible manner to protect the health and well-being of current and future generation and the environment. So overall, you need to give fairness to the use of the resources. You need to take proper care of the resources, and also for current generation as well as for the future generation. So this is very, very important. So particularly principle of care. For example, you cannot overexploit a particular species, particular plant species. Suppose you want to grow continuously rice. So you are over-exploiting a particular species. So there should not be over-exploitation of any resource, over-exploitation of water or so on. You need to give due care to all the components of organic farming, whether it is soil, whether it is plant, whether it is human beings. Even there may be laborer, there may be farmer who are working on the farm. They should live happily. There should be proper arrangement of these farmers or laborers, proper arrangement of their housing, medical care should be given to those people. Their children should go to the school. They should live in houses which are well ventilated and well lit. There should be provision of proper light to their houses. They should be able to get 2 times meal. So this is also part of organic farming. If you see all these principles and philosophy of these principles, then everybody in the chain of organic farming should be happy and healthy. Whether it is transport department, suppose one driver is there who is transporting your product, organic product, from one place to another place. Is he getting proper clothes? Is he getting proper sleep? Is he getting proper rest, or so on? So all kind of care is given to all the components in the system. So these are 4 principles of organic farming. Hope you understand. Now we come to the main topic of organic farming. So there are variety of methods of farming. Like you see in the films. In the films, there can be many actors. There can be Mithun Chakrabarti, there can be Dharmender, there can be your Kapoors, there are so many actors. Similarly, there can be so many stars in the sky, so many things, so many variations are there. So same is applicable to our agriculture. There are different forms of agriculture, different forms of growing crops and animals. So overall, we can group them into 3. There are many variants of farming, many variants of organic farming also. Similarly, if we see if we want to divide all kind of farming systems that are prevalent in India or elsewhere, they can be grouped into 3. One is modern, conventional, chemical, industrial farming. You can call it agriculture also. One is your conventional farming, that can be called as modern farming, chemical farming, industrial farming, etc., or agriculture. So in modern or chemical farming, different degrees of chemicals are used. Some farmer will do modern farming, chemical farming, but he will use less chemical and less fertilizer, less pesticide. But there can be extreme also. There can be one farmer from Madhya Pradesh who is using less chemical, less pesticide, but there can be one farmer who is using more pesticide, more fertilizer. That may be from Punjab. So in Punjab, you are using more chemical, more pesticide. But under both cases, it is chemical farming. you are using different degrees of chemicals or fertilizers. So therefore, both are chemical farming. Similarly, you see number 3, there can be other extreme also where you are not using any chemical, any pesticide. Here chemical includes your pesticide, all kind of antibiotics, your fertilizer, etc. So I will use just chemical word. So in organic agriculture, you are not using any chemicals. So you can see two extremes. One is you are using more chemical. One extreme is you are using no chemical. But there can be one approach which is in between these two. And that approach is called as integrated crop management. Integrated crop management, if you are taking just crops, if you are growing crops, then it is integrated crop management. If you are combining ICM with other enterprises, you can combine it with animals, combined with fishery, combined with agroforestry, combined with other enterprises, then it becomes your integrated farming system. When 2 or more enterprises are combined along with crop cultivation, then it becomes your integrated farming system. So there can be 3 approaches of crop production, 3 approaches of farming or agriculture: modern farming, chemical farming, organic farming, and one in between these two is your integrated crop management. In integrated crop management, you can see this cycle. If you are giving just emphasis on the crops, if you are giving just emphasis on the crops, see the center, the orange color, and you can adopt IPM, integrated pest management, integrated disease management, integrated weed management, and integrated nutrient management, plus crop rotations. If you follow these approaches, it becomes your integrated crop management. You combine the best management practices, or you combine the good agricultural practices, then it becomes your integrated crop management, ICM. So ICM practices have been developed for rice, for wheat, and for some other crops by scientists and by people, but they are not wholly being used by farmers. So here integrated crop management only is possible, and you can combine these crops with the livestock. Then it becomes your integrated farming system. And this integrated farming system can lead to sustainable agriculture. There's no doubt about it. Most people, most scientists now consider integrated farming system as a sustainable agriculture. This can sustain for years. And in this integrated farming system, you can get you can get organic farming also. Remember, here also you can combine organic farming also. Instead of ICM, you put your organic crop production plus animal and livestock or your other enterprises. So here some variants, a variant of organic farming is also possible in integrated farming system. So therefore, in integrated farming system, you can get ICM. If not, you can get organic farming also in this mode. So is it clear to you the 3 systems of farming or 3 methods of farming, common method of farming in India: chemical farming, ICM, and integrated farming system, and also organic farming or organic systems? Any doubt, any
Yes, sir.
clarification? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Now, as a student, you are asked, what is organic farming? What are its principles? These are the questions. How then comes how it is different from organic farming. What are the differences in conventional farming and organic farming? As a student, you may get a question on this subject. So there are certain criteria, or there are certain points of particular on the basis of which you can make the differences in two farming. You can make the difference based upon agricultural inputs, means what kind of inputs are used. Under both condition, inputs, many inputs are different. Then productivity differences, food safety and quality, soil health, GM crops, biodiversity, environment, economics, income. So you can remember these points. Based upon these points, you can make the differences in two kind of farming. How? Now you see these differences are there in tabular form. So first is your farm inputs. What kind of inputs are used? In conventional farming, you use mostly chemicals, that is fertilizer, pesticide. Organic farming, they are not allowed. And in place of these, you use FYM, compost, vermicompost, etc. Number 2 is cropping system. In conventional farming, mostly monoculture is followed. Monoculture means growing one kind of crop repeatedly. That is, or hardly they grow two crops or three crops in conventional farming. They follow cereal-based rotation like rice, wheat, rice, maize, or maize, wheat, etc. So these kind of system are there in conventional farming. However, in organic farming, diversified crop rotations, mixed cropping, intercropping is preferred, is suggested to be adopted. So definitely you will get more diversified crop production at organic farm compared to the conventional farm. Supply of nutrients through chemical fertilizer, and in that case through organic manures. Insect pest and disease control, weed control, this is mostly by chemicals. In conventional farming, in organic farming, you cannot use chemicals. So you use crop rotations or cropping system to control the insect pest and disease. You can go for cover crops, natural pest, hand weeding, animal grazing. There are different ecological approaches of insect pest and weed management that can be adopted. Or otherwise, to be more simple,
Sir, can also use neem oil?
Let me complete it, then I will get your question. So in this case, for control of insect pests and diseases and weeds, you, for organic farming, IPM minus chemicals. You can adopt all the integrated pest management approaches, including weed management, disease management, minus chemicals. Because there are a number of other approaches like cultural approach, physical approach, your biological approach, your botanicals, your even botanicals or chemical extract from plants, your viruses, your bacteria, biological methods, all can be employed here to control the insect pests and diseases here in organic farm. Now your question. Sumit.
Sir, can we use neem oil for the pest control?
Yes, it is allowed. Neem oil is allowed and it can be used.
Okay.
And one problem comes actually. These days in India, you know, adulteration is very big problem. If you go to buy neem oil, you don't know what you are buying actually. So that is the problem. And because mixing, adulteration, and spurious material is there. Now, question comes, Subhanshu, which is usually asked by people. If you want to use neem oil, then how you will use the neem oil spray? How can you use it? Because it will not dissolve in water. So how can you use it? Do you have any answer for this? How to spread it in the
No,
water?
sir.
It is
No,
really
sir.
very easy to say that use neem oil, but it will not mix in the water. Will it mix in the water or not? No problem.
No,
So
sir.
there are two options, because normally you add spreaders. Spreaders, when you use herbicide or so on, you use spreader that mixes the things well, and it can spread the material on the leaves of the plant. So what can be used here? There are variety of gums are available, variety of sticking material are available, which are in natural form. One in Hindi, I know Rita is there. There are small fruits and they give you kind of sticking material, chip-chippy cheese deta hai. That has been used, that can be used to mix the neem oil with water. This is one. And other simplest thing is that you can get NSK, neem seed kernel extract, that is easily mixed in the water. Oil will not mix totally, but there are so many constituents in the neem. It is not just azadirachtin. There are a number of things in the neem oil. And when you crush the seeds, you make the powder and put it in the water overnight. And in the morning, you strain it. That is your neem seed kernel extract. So you can get 5%, 10%, depending upon amount of this powder you are adding to it. So then this neem seed kernel, better to spray neem seed kernel extract instead of neem oil, because it will be pure, it is prepared by the farmer, it will be fresh, it will be effective. So better to go for neem seed kernel extract. I recommend you, instead of suggesting neem oil, we can suggest neem seed kernel extract. Is it fine? Any other question?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now we are discussing the differences in conventional farming and organic farming. So you have seen the 4 differences. Next, number 5th is productivity. I will discuss in detail about productivity in organic farming in one of the lectures. But for the time being, you can remember that conventional farming, you naturally get high yields. In organic farming, yields are lower. Low yield, particularly during conversion period, and initial 6 to 7 years, you will get low yield under organic farming compared to conventional farming. The yield can be as low as, say, 10 to 35%. 10 to 35% less yields are obtained in this case. Means you can get 90%, 65 to 90%, 65 to 90% of the yield of conventional farming. So you get lower yields, but after 6, 7 years, the yields are stabilized and you will get same yield or more yield than the conventional farming under organic systems. However, this yield is depending upon the kind of season you are growing. So I will discuss all these issues in detail in one lecture, productivity. But for the time being, you can remember that conventional farming gives you high yield compared to organic farming. Soil health, naturally, the conventional farming, you will get poor soil health, poor soil fertility because of continuous extraction of nutrients by growing your cereal crops and not taking care of the soil health and not adding much of the organic manures here. But in organic farming, naturally, there is no controversy on this. There are no 2 views on this. There's only one view that organic farming improves your soil health because you rely mostly on organic materials. And whenever you add organic matter into the soil, organic materials into the soil, they are going to improve surely physical, chemical, and biological health of the soil. Then aerial and soil biodiversity, it is it is wrongly written here. I'm sorry, I could not correct it. So in this case, it is reduced actually in conventional farming. Cut, paste. Now I corrected it. So in conventional farming, aerial and soil biodiversity is reduced because you are using pesticide into the soil. They will kill all kind of organisms, whether they are harmful or useful. But in organic farming, you are not using chemicals. So these chemicals sometimes reach the soil. Sometimes you apply on the foliage. If you are applying directly on the foliage, besides the harmful insect, it will also kill the friendly insects of your useful organism. So therefore, you will get more biodiversity on the organic farm compared to the conventional farm. And also, you are using crop rotations. You are following diversification on organic farming. If you increase the above ground biodiversity, it will surely increase the below ground biodiversity. Food safety and quality. So naturally, safety here means the food are whether foods contain your pesticide, your chemicals or not. If your food is having chemicals or residue of the chemicals or pesticides or heavy metal, then it is not safe. So safety is with respect to your chemical content of the pesticide. So naturally, the organic foods are safer than the conventional food because conventional food always, most of the time, contain pesticide residues. I will discuss in detail about pesticide residues. Also, the nutritionally, they are poor. Conventional food, they are nutritionally poor. They may contain less protein. They may contain less minerals because our soils are getting deficient. I will discuss this issue also, food quality, in detail. But for the time being, you can say that conventional food are not safe as organic food are more safe. And also, they are nutritionally poor. Conventional food and organic foods are nutritionally rich. Means they may contain more dry matter, they may contain more mineral, and they may contain more antioxidants. So therefore, organic foods are having better quality than the conventional food. And you will see these differences. So any point in differences in conventional and organic farming? One more point is environment. Conventional farming will surely pollute your environment. It will pollute soil, it will pollute water, it will pollute air. I think I need not to explain it. You know how conventional farming is creating air pollution, creating water pollution, and also soil pollution, and which lead to food pollution, or food will have your toxic materials. Now, organic farming, it is good for soil, it is good for environment, good for air, less emission of greenhouse gases. There are a number of studies that nitrate pollution is less under organic system compared to conventional farming. So good number of reports are there that organic farming will have environmental benefits, some direct, some indirect, and conventional farming will have will be having a harmful effect on environment. Energy input comparatively more in conventional farming and comparatively less, because use of energy is also related to pollution. If you use more energy, that means you are creating more pollution, because creation of energy also require your energy, and when you consume this energy, it also really create pollution. So pollution is more due to conventional farming. Therefore, because the energy use is more. And in organic farming, energy use is less. I will explain you later how these differences are there. Then income, because of more energy use means more cost. So if your cost of production is more, then your income will be less. But in organic farming, cost of production may be less compared to conventional farming. Therefore, profit will be more, income will be more. The next point of difference between these two is genetically modified seeds. They are allowed in conventional farming. You can use BT cotton, you can use some other genetically modified crops. In India, it is only BT cotton that is allowed. But in years to come, we can have BT mustard or BT brinjal or some other crops can be released in India in future. But right now, it is only one crop. And in organic farming, GM seeds or crops are not allowed. They are not allowed at all. Only hybrids are allowed. If you have hybrids, naturally developed hybrids of maize, hybrids of rice, vegetables, any crop, these hybrids are allowed under organic farming. Now your questions, if any question is there. If no question, then I can move. Now you see, I'll show you some data on organic farming. So here you can see different countries. So this data is recent data about organic farming. And if you are interested in detailed data, you just type World of Organic Agriculture, World of Organic Agriculture 2022. This is the publication from FIBL. FIBL is one organic farming organization from Switzerland. It is in Switzerland, FIBL. It has got some meaning in Swiss language. It is not English word, FIBL. It has got some Swiss meaning, and the name is FIBL survey. For the time being, you can think that it is considered it is an organic farming organization, FIBL, doing research and propagation of organic farming in the world. And they do survey since 1998 or 96. They are doing survey, and it is the only source of data on organic farming of world organic agriculture. No other data, no other authentic data is available. So you can rely upon this data. And this is also accepted by FAO. So World of Organic Agriculture 2022, this is the publication, name of the publication. Type in Google and you will get the complete PDF book free of cost. And you can see all these data. So at present, it is there in 190 countries with organic activities. There are 190 countries in the world having organic farming. Organic agricultural land in the world in 2020 is 74.9 million hectare area under organic farming in the world. However, in year 1999, it was just 11 million hectares. So you can see it is almost 6 times increase during this period. Australia, students can remember, Australia have the highest area in organic agriculture, that is 35.7 million hectare. This is official, 35.7 million hectare area under organic farming in Australia. And this area I am seeing for last 8 to 10 years. So continuously they are having so much of big area under organic farming in Australia. The next country is Argentina. Argentina, 4.5 million hectare area. And remember, this is cultivated area. This is cultivated area under organic farming. Then Uruguay, 2.7 million hectare area. Organic share of total agricultural land. It is very small fraction, just 1.6% at world level. However, this Liechtenstein, the name of the country, I think perhaps this is the smallest country in the world, very smallest area, but it is a country. And whatever little area it has in hectares or acres, out of that little area, 41% is organic. Similarly, in Austria, whatever area is there, 26% is in organic. Estonia, 22.4%. So these are some of the data. Now you see wild collection and further non-agricultural areas. So you can have two kind of area under organic farming or organic production. One is cultivated area and other is wild harvest. Wild harvest may include your perennial crops that are used for medicinal purpose or for some plantation crops like coconut and some other kind of crops. So wild collection means your forestry kind of products, and further non-agricultural area means non-cultivated area. So you can see that this is also high, 28.5 million hectare in the world. And in 99, it was just 4.5 million hectare. This is wild harvest. So Finland has highest area under wild collection, 5.5 million hectare, Namibia, Zambia. And now see the number of farmers who are engaged in organic farming. So around the world, there are 3.4 million producers in the world. If you multiply it by 10, you get the same data in lakh. So if you multiply 3.4 by 10, that is 34 lakh producer or farmers are there in the world. 34 lakh. Out of 34 lakh, you can see about 15.99 lakhs are there in India. Or you can say 16 lakhs, 16 lakh, 16 lakh or 1.6 million farmers are there in India. Ethiopia is next, where there are 2 lakhs something, 2.1 million farmers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.21 million. In India, there are 1.599 or 1.6 million farmers or 16 lakh farmers are there. So now you see organic market is having worth 120.6 billion euros. It's not that big market, but it is there. And you can see that USA has the largest market, that is 49.5 billion euros. So big market in USA. Germany have 15 billion, number 2. So these are some of the data, and you can also see the next data. Number of countries they are implementing, 76 countries now have regulated organic farming, means they have their organic standard and certification process in place. Out of 190 countries who are adopting organic farming, 76 have regulated their organic farming. Now you can see the same kind of data here, continent-wise. So you can see this Australia. If you consider Australia continent, then it has 35.9 million hectare area. So this is Oceania. Oceania includes your Australia, New Zealand, and smaller countries like Bermuda, or there may be many more countries that you might have known in Commonwealth Games. There may be many small countries. They are there. So it is mostly Australia, you can see. So they have highest area, 35.9 million hectare. The number 2 is your Europe, 17.1 million hectare. And then next is your Latin America, and Asia has very small area, which is 6.1 million hectares. And in Asia, it is mostly China and India. Now you can see percentage-wise. So roughly you can see 50%, 48% is in Oceania, and 13% Latin America, and Europe is having 23% of land. So you can go through this data. I will share this data. So you can see world of organic agriculture. Australia have 35.7. After Australia, Argentina, Uruguay, India. India is at 4th place with 2.66 million hectare area. So you can see here. And then you can see the number of farmers. We are leading the list. You have already seen India, 16 lakh farmer. Ethiopia, about 2 lakhs 19,000. Tanzania and Uganda, Peru, and so on. And you can see Australia name is not there here in the list of farmers. That means very small number of farmers are dealing with large land, more than 35 million hectares. So they may be less than even 50,000 farmers because their land size or farm size is very big and they are totally mechanized farming in Australia. Therefore, very less number of farmers. And in India, you have large number of producers. That means your farm size or land size is very fragmented, small land holdings. Now coming to the crops. So you can see cereals top the list. So use of arable cropland by crop group. So you see cereals are the largest group. That means rice, wheat, maize, and small millets and other kind of cereals. They are the important ones which have the largest area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 5 million hectare area. So if you start from right side and count 6 and put 1 decimal, that converts it into million. So it is about 5 million hectare area under cereals in the world. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3.2 million hectare green fodder. So that means some people are doing organic animal production of animal by organic methods. Otherwise, why they are growing green fodder in 3.2 million hectare area? That means they are doing animal rearing also under organic management. Then third important group is your oil seeds, dry pulses, textiles, fallow land, vegetables, medicinal plant, and so on. So you can say all kind of agricultural products are there, whether they are fruits, vegetables, spices, whatever it is. So all are grown by organic methods. Now you see use of permanent cropland. These are actually your wild collection area. So you can see olive. Olive is number 1 because many Asian countries and your European countries, Americans, they grow this olive plant. So olives have very large area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.89 or 0.9 million hectare area under olives in the world. Nuts, your coffee, your other permanent crops, grapes, cocoa, coconut, and most things are there. So they are considered as permanent crop or wild collection. Now see the top 10 countries' largest organic wild collection. So Finland has a largest area, 5.5 million hectare, then Namibia, Mexico, India. India area under wild collection is decreasing. Slowly it is decreasing. I will show you the data of India. You can see it here. Data on certified organic production in India. You see the last column, 2021. This is the latest data. Total production in lakh tons is 34.7 lakh ton. And then total export into 1,000 tons, 888,000 tons. Value of total export in US dollar is 1,041. Total arable land, this is important. Total arable land is 2.66 million hectare. That means it is cultivated land. Whatever net cultivated area is there in India, which is 142 or 143 million hectare, now it may be 141 million hectare. Out of 141 million hectare, 2.66 is under organic system. And this is official data from Government of India. And now you can see that this area, net cultivated area is increasing, or aerated, this arable area is increasing under organic farming year after year. If you start from 16-17, it was 1.45, 1.78, 1.94, 2.3, 2.66. So it is continuously increasing, but at a slow rate. Now you see total wild harvest area. So total wild harvest area, initially it was 3, then 1.78, 1.49, 1.39, 37, 1.68. So from 3 million hectare, in 16-17, it has come down to 1.68. So slowly there is some change in the area under wild collection. And you can see the total arable and wild harvest, means total area. So there is not very high difference in total area. It is somewhere around 4 million hectare area, or 3.5 to 4 million hectare area. You can see 4.45, 3.56, 3.43, 3.67, and now it is 4.34. So students must remember these three data, that what was the total arable land area under certification in 2021, it was 2.66, wild harvest 1.68. If you make the total 4.34. So this is how area is there. I will continue this class tomorrow, and you can tell me the time, and you can also ask questions now, or you can ask question later, because, or I will open a quick site just for discussion. Stop share, stop recording.